Adding revenue streams sounds like a really cool idea. It really can be a game changer in your business. It can add a ton of extra money to your top line or your bottom line. It can make you much more profitable. And done correctly, additional revenue streams in business can make your life a whole lot easier. There's ways to do it and ways not to do it. Let's talk. So I hear this misconception all the time, in a lot of Facebook groups. Oh, I'm just going to add another revenue stream as somebody hops into yet another MLM. And I would dare say that is probably the wrong way to add another revenue stream to your business, because what that is doing is diluting your message, it's confusing your audience, and it's probably making it harder for you to make money at the things that are the most profitable for you. So when you are first growing your business, I really do recommend having a single revenue stream that you focus on wholeheartedly. And there are a few things that you can add as revenue streams as you go along that are natural complementary things to almost anything you're doing that are going to be super low hanging fruit. So one of the things that I do is that, my Facebook and some of my other social media channels are monetized. Not all of them, but some of them are. It adds a few hundred to a few $1,000s a month for me. And it allows me to make some additional money. Guess what? I'm already marketing on those platforms. I'm already leveraging those platforms. I'm already building that audience. So monetizing in that case is not a distraction for me. Where we run into a lot of trouble is when we start trying to sell more and more and more things. That's not what I'm really talking about. I'm talking about adding other revenue streams as it makes sense to you, to your business, that are not necessarily super active revenue streams, but maybe it's a passive thing, like affiliate marketing, like true affiliates. Like I'm sharing products and services that I'm already leveraging in my business, I'm already using in my business, and I'm going to mention these to you and share these things with you so that you can also grow your business. So for instance, one of the companies that I simply adore is SiteGround. I recommend SiteGround. I encourage all of the people that I do WordPress websites on to end up on SiteGround because I love their customer service. So yes, I have become an affiliate for SiteGround and I love SiteGround. And I also make a small amount of money every single time somebody signs up. Another similar affiliate program that I use is Entreport. I use the one for Dubsado because I use Entreport and Dubsado for complementary service offerings. So you can add different revenue streams that make sense in your business that are complementary, that maybe enhance what you're doing, but are not a huge distraction to what you're doing. As your business grows, you're going to want to find other ways to invest your money. So that may mean that you're buying the property where your business is located and you're renting it out to your business, or you're renting it to other businesses, right? You're subletting and creating other revenue streams that way. So when I start talking about adding revenue streams to your business, there's a lot of things that you can do that are really, really profitable, but they're not necessarily intuitive. And I'm definitely not in the business of trying to distract you from your primary goals and objectives, because when you take your eyes off the balls, it's nothing more than a shiny object syndrome. And you end up actually losing money by adding additional revenue streams. So one of the things I'm thinking of in particular is that the guy that cleans my gutters could very easily fall into the trap of doing, wood rot repair and painting and all of these things. Well, that's additional equipment, additional time, additional staff, and additional training that they have to, invest in versus, something that makes absolute sense for them is that now they're going to power wash my deck. They're going to power wash my driveway. They're going to clean out my gutters, and they're going to come back and they're going to clean my gutters periodically when they clean my windows. So it's a really nice upsell. So there are things that they can do that allow them to grow their business that are not necessarily adding whole other divisions to the business. So just be really mindful, because the other thing that you run into a lot, and that a lot of my business owners run into, is that something can sound like a really great idea, but the cost of labor, the cost of hiring people and maintaining people and work trucks and all of the things can be super difficult. So if you are relying on somebody to maybe make more calls or do this or that or the other, really look at how profitable that revenue stream truly is for you. And if it's outside of your core focus, if it is far outside of your core focus, it may be something that is not worth doing. But I know, just a lot of my friends who are contractors, and winter and fall are their slow months. A lot of them will hang decorative lighting, Christmas lighting for people over the holidays so that people have Christmas lights up. And it's a perfect complement to their business because it comes at a time when their business is slow. It adds additional revenue streams and it keeps going. So when you start combining some of these options in there, you can really create an amazing business opportunity, provided that you are being mindful about the different revenue streams that you are creating. It can add a tremendous amount of revenue, and it can be super smart, or it can also be a huge distraction. One of the things that I think of a lot when I start thinking about great revenue streams, for a lot of restaurant owners and for my restaurant owners who work with me, they add things like catering, and for a charge, for a fee, they will set up and do the catering, or you can come and pick it up. They offer to allow people to rent out the restaurant as a venue. So there are different revenue streams that you can add that can be highly profitable if it makes sense to your particular business. If it doesn't make absolute sense for your business, there is absolutely no point to adding those additional revenue streams. And that's one of the things that I work with people on, is really prioritizing what you're doing, how you're doing it, how you're spending your time. Does this make sense for me in this place that I'm at in my business right now? Or is this just a huge distraction, a huge time sink? And is it going to be taking away from what I'm doing? I know that one of the biggest challenges that I've run into, there's a few in my business, is simply the fact that people keep coming to me with, well, you could sell this and you could sell this and you have this opportunity and you have that opportunity. And the reality is, for many of these things, it is not aligned with my core business, my most profitable business. It isn't necessarily adding a ton of money to my bottom line. And if I'm simply marketing you to sell you and I'm getting a share of my sales, then it's not necessarily in my best interest to do that, unless I'm receiving a fairly high percentage of the sales, because I'm doing a huge amount of money, a huge amount of work. And it costs me a huge amount of money to do marketing for other things that are not necessarily a core part of my business, because for me, it's a huge distraction if I'm selling it under my own personal brand. So I want to be really careful about, is this diluting my brand? Is this presenting my brand the way I want to present it? Is it a revenue stream that makes sense for me at this point in time? Is it something that is super easy for me to recommend, like SiteGround, because we develop websites, we do funnels, we do these things? Or is this something that is substantially outside of my normal sphere of influence? So for instance, I could sell HelloFresh, I could refer to HelloFresh as an affiliate, but it's not going to make sense from a dollars and cents perspective for me to spend time on that thing to try to add that additional revenue stream. And, where I find people really get caught up in things is trying to be multi-passionate and thinking that they can do 10,000 things at the same time. And what that ends up doing is those 10,000 things are almost like each one is a horse that's pulling you apart and pulling you in all different directions. And you get that illusion of being super busy. And occasionally you might manage to make a few dollars here and there, and you get that like hit of dopamine for, hey, I made a few dollars. And I see this a lot with people that are in MLMs. Oh, well, I want to keep this product line going because I really like it. Well, if you really like the products, just buy the products. Don't worry about trying to sell it, because if you're trying to sell Body Shop while being a travel agent, it's not a good fit for it. And it's not additional revenue streams for your business. It is simply competing interests that are taking money away from your business. So think about that when you start thinking about multiple revenue streams and time management and all of those things. This is back to that time multiplication, being hugely aware of your time. And one of the things that I'll be really clear on is that, you can really only serve a single master, particularly when you are marketing yourself or marketing in the online space. You can only really market one thing at a time. And if you can't, do that one thing, don't, if you're trying to do like 3 or 4 things, people completely are confused about like, what are you doing and how are you doing it and how do I buy from you? And I will say that that has definitely cost me a lot of money. And I've seen it cost a lot of other people a ton of money in their businesses as well. So multiple revenue streams are awesome, and they can add several $100,000 a year to your bottom line, believe it or not. But you don't want to be getting distracted on things that are not core and central to your business. And I've seen it over and over again, with the handyman who adds plumbing and electrical and this and that and the other certifications. And those are different licenses that they have to hold in my state. So really be mindful about your other revenue streams. If you're in doubt, let's chat, let's talk. I am taking on a handful of clients in the next year. And I would love for you to be one of them if you are one of the right ones. If not, let's just chat. Let's be friends. Let's see how I can connect you with other people. It's one of my things is building my network and my connections and my relationships with people. It's about helping as many people as I can. Let's talk. Let's book a call. And the link is below. Thanks.